What's going on, everybody? It is late night with Spice. So I ain't even gonna be long, but I just had to say, look, I watched the debate and I have to say I am so impressed. Like, I already like Kamala. I liked her. As I keep saying, one of the things that really turned me on to Kamala was when everybody was protesting George Floyd. The whole world came together. All races, like Kamala said on the debate, every race, every gender, and every age came together because they recognized that was wrong and that was murder right in front of us. Well, Kamala was busy passing bills with Senator Cory Booker. That's what I respected her. Everybody was busy, but quietly she was working. She was actually putting her pen to the paper, putting her foot to the pedal, and I appreciate that. So I just want to go over some of the highlights of the debate tonight. She killed it. Do we want change or not? Yeah. I hear people saying, well, Kamala was with that mass incarceration. She was after black people. She wouldn't let them go. But you got to know, the story. And I want to read more into it. But from what I read, the techs in her office were smoking the coke, if you know what I'm saying. They was taking the dope from the evidence room. Kamala, keep want to call her Kamala. Kamala could have, in her DA office, they could have let everybody go. My thing is, what they should have done, and I don't even know if they did this, but they should have arrested those techs that was smoking the coke. But my thing is, why let everybody? What did they do? Now, like I said, I got to look more into these people and see what crimes they committed before I make a fair judgment. I have to know, did these people that everybody is saying Kamala's responsible for putting away and blocking evidence, did these people do crime? Did they do crime? Did they do crimes? Because if they had, what's justice? What is justice? What do you want? What is fair? Let them go because they black? That's not fair. If you do crime, you're going to pay the time. Nobody is going to be able to be doing crime and get away with it because you black. And we have to stop with that mentality, if we have that mentality. And a lot of other issues, there's a lot of issues I hear we have been oppressed for so long. I think that's what Kanye was trying to say. Don't want to put words in his mouth and meaning to his whatever he was trying to say, but he said slavery was a choice. We jumped on his back. I jumped on his back. If I had to use that term or whatever, then I would say sometimes we have oppression so heavy and for so long that we hold on and we begin to complain. For example, when I look at when they talk about colorism, right? I noticed that they constantly they attack you. Mulatto, she's a rapper. Her name is Mulatto. She's mixed. They attack Mulatto because her name is Mulatto, instead of understanding she's mixed. And I know it has negative connotation, but for me, I'm not offended one bit. Like, it does not bother me. It don't touch me. The fact that this girl's name is Mulatto. Mulatto means mixed race. So one white, one black parent. So I think sometimes we have to really take our emotions out of the equation, because sometimes we just we're too emotionally involved. Because like I said, getting back to the subject before I get into this damn debate, I believe Kamala was, look, she my type of person. She's actually my spirit animal, and she's not an animal, so I don't know how you call it. I like her. I like her style. I like that prosecutor's sharpness. I like that. Kamala did not block, or no, she blocked evidence, and a lot of people could not get out of jail or whatever, because the techs in her DA office, they was smoking the coke. The evidence, far as what I read. I'd like to know, these people and what crimes they committed. If they committed crimes, then they have to do the time. We cannot ask for fair play if we not playing fair. If we're innocent, then we innocent. If we're not innocent, maybe we can get some mercy. But if we dead ass wrong, we have to be ready to pay the time. That it's no way out. Like, you have to be fair. So she did, Derek. She tore it. I was in here screaming. And you know what? I am so sick and tired of the systemic racism. I'm sick of it. Now, I'm not racist. I love everybody. But I'm about sick of seeing Trump. It's like this. If you notice Trump, he wants nothing but white men around him. He went to paint this image that white men are sharp. White men are all to be worshipped. White men are the brilliant ones. But when you listen to them, them as in Trump and his administration and his followers, the people that he's done got sick, foolish. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into this. Check out some of the debate. Let's check out some highlights of the debate. First thing we're gonna start with looking at, it's just 2 minutes, but you will enjoy it. And it is Kamala on pre-existing conditions and how Trump, right? See, and let me say this. What I love about Kamala, do y'all notice how she put us on? I feel like she put us on to stuff that we need to know. She put us on the stuff that is secret. And it kind of opened my eyes up, and I'm ready to vote for her. I am ready to vote for Biden. Let's take a look at this, guys. Here we go.
Joe Biden will not raise taxes on anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. He has been very clear about that. Joe Biden will not end fracking. He has been very clear about that. Joe Biden is the one who, during the Great Recession, was responsible for the Recovery Act that brought America back. And now the Trump-Pence administration wants to take credit when they rode the coattails of Joe Biden's success for the economy that they had at the beginning of their term. Of course, now the economy is a complete disaster. But Joe Biden, on the one hand, did that. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who has reigned over a recession that is being compared to the Great Depression. On the one hand, you have Joe Biden, who was responsible with President Barack Obama for the Affordable Care Act, which brought health care to over 20 million Americans and protected people with pre-existing conditions. And what it also did is it saved those families who otherwise were going bankrupt because of hospital bills they could not afford. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who's in court right now, trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which means that you will lose protections if you have pre-existing conditions. And this is very important, Susan.
Yes,
and it's important.
We need to give Vice President.
I'd just like to, he interrupted me, and I'd like to just finish, please. If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer, they're coming for you. If you love someone who has a pre-existing condition, they're coming for you. If you are under the age of 26 on your parents' coverage, they're coming for you.
Senator Harris, thank you.
Hey, NBC News.
I don't know if y'all remember, but in the beginning of this pandemic, do y'all remember when Trump said that he would make health care free for people who had underlying health conditions and had contracted COVID? He said that he would make it free. Another thing I liked about, look, first of all, you see her eyes. I don't play with her now. I like that. I like how when he tried to jump in, like, she just carries truth. I like her. She just carries genuine to me. I really do. I think I heard her say that for families that make under $400,000, and I think she's, under $400,000, that Joe Biden wants to make community college, 2-year college, free. By grants, he wants to pay back $10,000 in debt of school loans. How many of y'all got school loans? I got school loans. I've got debt. So I don't know. Let me see what y'all saying. I really liked it. I'm not trying to jump ahead, Okay, so Derek said, I love the fact that she brought up Breonna Taylor. Did you see Pence's response? Yes, this is an issue that matters to me. Derek, I did. I did see that. I didn't see that, Ira. I did see that, Derek, because, yeah, she was asked about Breonna Taylor. And you know what? This is the second time I saw her reaction when she was asked about Breonna Taylor. She didn't jump and say justice, it was unjust. And as the prosecutor in her, which makes me believe her more and believe that she's not lying, she actually said, the first time I heard her talk about this, besides this debate, she said, I have to see the evidence. She didn't want, like she was just being, to me, honest in being a prosecutor. It's not just because Breonna is black, but that allowed me to see her heart condition. It allowed me to see that she not just going to jump and say this because Breonna is black, because then will it be fair? And that's when I'm on that. I'm on this fair thing. Yeah, I'm very tired of this systemic racism. And yes, when Pence was asked, when Pence was asked with the fly in his hair, when he was asked, do I have that? About Breonna Taylor. First of all, I wanted him to shut up. I'm so tired of hearing them say what happened was tragic. Look, just don't say it. My thing is this. If y'all don't like us black folks, just say that. Just say that. Stop pretending you care. And then it's a but after. Not an and, but a but. Anybody knows, or most people know, that when you put but in it, that means you take away from everything you said. You take the respect away from it. But if you put in, you're adding to. So Pence basically said that he goes with the law. He believes in law. This is so wrong and cruel, because Breonna Taylor was murdered in her own house. Unlawfully murdered, because where they live, that state, you can carry a gun and you have a right to protect your property. They came up in their domain. They shot her up. There's nothing right about that. So yeah, I saw Kamala's response. She said she spoke with the parents, and this was unjust. It was an unjust. And then she basically pitched her reform. And that's what I like about Kamala. Kamala is really about action. Like I said, she really put her pen to the paper when we was all watching, what was going on, or protesting George Floyd. I ran into that video, and she was actually in Congress passing a bill, fighting for us, fighting for police reform. And they did. They won it. They won. They passed the bill. It's the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which was passed in June. That's what I respect. Action. And I'm not going to hold y'all too long, you know what I'm saying? I just had to come because this was good. But for fact's sake, this is the bill. Here we go. This bill was introduced, it says June 8th, 2020. It is passed. You can actually look it up. And it is the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act of 2020. And what did the bill say? A summary of the bill. The bill addresses a wide range of policies and issues regarding policing practices and law enforcement accountability. It includes measures to increase accountability for law enforcement misconduct, to enhance transparency and data collection, to eliminate discriminatory policing practices. That's just a summary because it breaks it down. When they're talking about data collection, if there is a police officer that has a record, the public should have access to it. That's what that means. Eliminate discriminatory policing practices. The bill facilitates federal enforcement of constitutional violations, which excessive use of force by state and local law enforcement. Among other things, it does the following. It lowers the criminal intent standard. It lowers the criminal intent standard. Okay, from willful to knowing or reckless. Okay, because I guess the murderer cops, they lie and they say that the crime the person did lying is like felony worth, or it rendered harsh, brutality, I guess, you know what I'm trying to say, to convict a law enforcement officer for misconduct in a federal prosecution. Okay, it limits qualified immunity as a defense to liability in a private civil action against a law enforcement officer or state correctional officer. Okay, it limits qualified immunity as a defense to liability. So they trying to, squeeze that qualified immunity in there, because that's the hardest thing I think for them to really change. Right now there's no qualified immunity. Or am I saying that right? Mad late. But that, anyway, y'all, not to read anymore. I just wanted to show y'all, I keep telling you, she was passing bills while everybody else was doing the other fight. Everybody was protesting and whatnot. All right, cool. Let's get back to the good stuff. On the COVID-19 response. Now, everybody knows Trump is a nasty sack of trash. I mean, just disgusting to me. Disgusting to me. I want to play this real quick. Trump liked to pretend like he was all good and healthy, but he really wasn't. He was really sick. Let me see if it's going to show. So when he got off that helicopter, shout out to TSB. When he got off the helicopter, he took the mask off and he tried to present like he was so strong because he really wanted pictures and he wanted to be in our history books. Check out how he struggled to breathe. Hold up. What happened? Okay. Okay, I gotta make it smaller. Here we go. Struggling. Hurting. That's all you need to see. Struggling. Okay. So anyway, getting back to Kamala, on when they were asked about the COVID-19 response, everybody know. He was mad weak. Hey, G Money. He was extremely weak, but he pretended he's strong. And see, you putting on a lie. Who want to believe a liar? Like, who's really going to vote for a liar? And I don't understand why black people still hollering Trump. Fuck Trump. He said stand back and stand by. Stop it. Stop always being a apologetic type of soul when it comes to Trump. Trump is not for you. And that's what I love. It's so many points that I love about that debate tonight. When she got into the point of she said, who you owe. She said he paid $750 in taxes. She said, I thought I was seeing things. I'm paraphrasing. She said, I thought it should have been 70. She thought they meant 750,000. She said, what you don't know is that he is looking out for his own self-interest. Who do he owe? And she repeated that. Like I said, Kamala was letting us in on things that she know about, and it seemed like it's top secret. She works, she said, with the Senate. She have access to a lot of the private, I don't know how she put it, but let's check out this clip. The COVID-19 response, wherever it's at. All right. All right, so here's the COVID-19 response. And this one's long, so we may not listen to the whole thing. But let's check it out. So we can get it we got to hear it so we can get it in our heads and know what we voting for. You know? All right.
1 in 5 businesses closed. We're looking at frontline workers who have been treated like sacrificial workers. We are looking at over 30 million people who in the last several months had to file for unemployment. And here's the thing.
Me too, G
On
Money.
January 28th, the vice president and the president were informed about the nature of this pandemic. They were informed that it's lethal in consequence, that it is airborne, that it will affect young people, and that it would be contracted because it is airborne. and they knew what was happening and they didn't tell you. Can you imagine if you knew on January 28th, as opposed to March 13th, what they knew, what you might have done to prepare? They knew and they covered it up. The president said it was a hoax. They minimized the seriousness of it. Yep. The president said, you're on one side of his ledger if you wear a mask, you're on the other side of his ledger if you don't. And in spite of all of that, today they still don't have a plan. They still don't have a plan. Well, Joe Biden does. And our plan is about what we need to do around a national strategy for contact tracing, for testing, for administration of the vaccine, and making sure that it will be free for all. That is the plan that Joe Biden has and that I have, knowing that we have to get a hold of what has been going on, and we need to save our country. And Joe Biden is the best leader to do that, and frankly, this administration has forfeited their right to re-election based on this.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
Rico was born in 2000.
Okay, so she gets into, if y'all recall, she got into real deep. She got real deep, and she began to talk to us. And that's when my feelings got involved, and I got angry. She talked about how people, people don't have a damn job. People lost their jobs. Every single person knows somebody by now that have corona or had coronavirus or possibly died. I told y'all earlier that I have a cousin that just died from coronavirus. His mother, my aunt, my other aunt, they both have it. And my aunt's husband has it. So it's very real. She talks about how people don't have jobs, how people are grieving right now. And they sat and they lied and they knew about this. They actually knew about this. All right, let me see if it's anything more.
President Pence, more than 210,000 Americans have died of COVID-19 since February. The U.S. death toll as a percentage of our population is higher than that of almost every other wealthy nation on earth. For instance, our death rate is 2.5 times that of Canada next door. You head the administration's coronavirus task force. Why is the U.S. death toll as a percentage of our population higher than that of almost every other wealthy country? And you have 2 minutes to respond without interruption.
Susan, thank you. And I want to thank the Commission and the University of Utah for hosting this event. And Senator Harris, it's a privilege to be on the stage with you. And our nation has gone through a very challenging time this year.
Here come the bullshit.
But I want the American people to know that from the very first day, President Donald Trump has put the health of America first.
Lies.
Before there were more than 5 cases in the United States, all people who had returned from China, President Donald Trump did what no other American president had ever done. And that was he suspended all
lies.
From China.
Let me stop him. Okay, because I'm not going to sit and watch this whole thing. But it was already fact-checked on CNN. They have a fact-checker. And if y'all remember, it may not even take CNN. Trump would not even give Governor Cuomo of New York, kept begging for ventilators. Kept begging for ventilators. Trump would not give ventilators. He would not release masks or anything. He kept saying, we're going to be fine. They're coming. We've got hundreds of ventilators. They're being made right now. But they had to beg him to shut down. He did not shut down this country. And I'm waiting for them to call that out. He did not shut down the country. Remember, he left it to governors to decide. He tried to stop them from shutting down because of the economy. He kept saying it will go away. Remember, it was only February. So no, he did not shut down China initially. Slightly shut down China. They were still coming in from China. And it was Europe, actually, that he shut down. And that's where I think they said the most of the load was coming from. But I remember that they shut down Europe. So again, Pence is lying. Like I said, they put on their suit. They get their hair cut, the most expensive haircut. They get their facials done. They eat at the finest places, and they laugh and chit chat together with the rich. And that's that. They don't have any idea when it comes to briefing us and debating and really bringing out the facts. The whole time Pence was pretty much avoiding the answers, wasn't answering the questions. And look at where Trump is now. Trump now has coronavirus. The man that sat in the Oval Office and said, "What do I look like?" He said, "Just imagine the king. Just think of it, the king wearing a mask. I just can't. But look at him. He has coronavirus." I don't know, and I think I think G Money said that there's a lot of black people that's going for Trump. I know black people that's going for Trump. I think that one of the things I see about our people is that they don't believe what they see a lot of times. They more prone to listen to conspiracy theories. I don't want to hear it. It's just a theory if you cannot prove it with facts. Okay? So I think that they don't want to believe it. The man told the white supremacist groups to stand back and stand by. Let's see. I don't really want to hear what Pence say, because he put me to sleep.
Senator Joe Biden opposed that decision. He said it was xenophobic and hysterical.
He didn't. What was xenophobic was calling it China virus. See, that's the bullshit, because I remember, I don't need to look nothing up. I actually remember why Joe Biden called it xenophobic, because of him. Trump kept saying it was China virus, Chinese virus. He was offending the Chinese. And at that time, I didn't really give a damn, because China was treating Africans bad and wouldn't treat them and kicking them out of their homes that they paid for and on the streets. It was just, Lord have mercy.
But I can tell you, having led the White House Coronavirus Task Force, that decision alone by President Trump bought us invaluable time to stand up the greatest national mobilization since World War II. And I believe it saved hundreds of thousands of American lives. Because with that time, we were able to reinvent testing. More than 115
Oh,
million
bullshit. Do you remember, again, everybody, every governor, every state was saying we need testing? And Trump started to say later on, the more testing we do, the more numbers you'll find. Stop testing, slow the testing down, actually. He lying. And that's the thing they do. Those Republicans that are kissing Trump's balls, that's what they do. They lie right in front of you, as if we don't remember what happened. If you watch those briefings, then you know he's lying.
We were able to see to the delivery of billions of supplies, so our doctors and nurses had the resources.
Oh, bitch, you're lying. Oh.
And we began really before the month of February was our
You're lying.
The vaccine and to develop medicines and therapeutics that have been saving lives all along the way.
Don't y'all remember? I don't really care to cut him off. Don't y'all remember it was actually Trump that suggested disinfectant be injected and ultraviolet ray lights be shown on you, and that can cure it? And his dumb ass stood there like slow and suggested that people actually stuck needle. There were all types of memes. Come on now, stop it. Hydrochloroquine. Remember the people that died because they actually listened to him? Dumbass Trump.
Trump's leadership, Operation Warp Speed, we believe will have literally tens of millions of doses of a vaccine before the end of this year. The reality is, when you look at the Biden plan, it reads an awful lot like what President Trump and I and our task force have been doing every step of the way.
She great kill that.
When I look at their plan that talks about advancing testing, creating new PPE, developing a vaccine, it looks a little bit like plagiarism, which is something Joe Biden knows a little bit about.
That's what they do. I'm gonna fast forward him. So what their strategy, and I don't even think it's a strategy. I just think they dress like they're real smart, but they're dumb. They're not smart. They're actually shallow, and they actually are challenged upstairs. They're not real. Like, I like Kamala because Kamala is human. She actually has a heart. She cares. Because they attack how you look, or they'll attack your character. This is a debate, not a I get you, you get me. Roast. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's fast forward to some. Let's get to Kamala. I hope she's
grieving
okay,
that
listen.
loss.
Here we go. This is the part.
This is a president who has put the
Thank you,
health
Vice
of America first, and the American people, I believe with my heart, can be
Thank you,
proud
Vice
of the
President.
sacrifices they have made. It's saved
Thank you,
countless
Vice
American
President
lives.
Senator Harris, would you like to respond?
Absolutely. Whatever the vice president is claiming the administration has done, clearly it hasn't worked. When you're looking at over 210,000 dead bodies in our country.
There is a shortage of 500,000.
Okay, I'll let this ad run. This is the part where she really connects. Here we go. Hurry.
American lives that have been lost, families that are grieving that loss. And you know, the vice president is the head of the task force and knew on January 28th how serious this was. And then thanks to Bob Woodward, we learned that they knew about it. And then when that was exposed, the vice president said, when asked, well, why didn't y'all tell anybody? He said, because the president wanted people to remain calm.
Well, let's get
So no, but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I
I
want to
have
add,
to
but
weigh in
if, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh in.
speaking.
She's saying
you
shut
have
up.
15 more seconds, and then we'll give the vice president
Thank
a
you.
chance to
So I
respond.
want to ask the American people, how calm were you when you were panicked about where you're going to get your next roll of toilet paper? How calm were you when your kids were sent home from school and you didn't know when they could go back? How calm
Thank
were
you.
you
Thank
when
you,
your
Senator
children
Harris.
couldn't see your parents because you were afraid they could kill them?
Let's give Vice President Pence a chance to respond. Vice President Pence, you have 1 minute to
You know,
respond.
there's not a day gone by that I haven't thought of every American family that's lost a loved one. And I want all of you to know that you'll always be in our hearts and in our prayers.
Oh, keep your prayers,
But when you
please.
say what the American people have done over these last 8 months hasn't worked, that's a great disservice to the sacrifices the American people have made.
I'm referring
The
to
reality,
the
if I may finish, Senator, the reality
He
is,
know it's
Dr. Fauci
bullshit.
said, everything that he told the president in the Oval Office, the president told the American people. Now, President Trump, I will tell you, has boundless confidence in the American people, and he always spoke with confidence that we'd get through this together. But when you say it hasn't worked, when Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx and our medical experts came to us in the second week of March, they said if the president didn't take the unprecedented step of shutting down roughly half of the American economy,
Shut the. This is what really annoys me. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna let it play a little bit more. If you recall, they sat Dr. Birx to the side. Trump stopped Dr. Fauci because he started to get envious because and this is something I noticed, because the attention was going to Dr. Fauci 1 and 2. Dr. Fauci was being truthful. He was telling us how many people would die, which by now, and we've 60,000 was the first number, over 60,000, and we surpassed that. We're in the 200,000s of dead people. And we're in the millions in the United States of people that have been infected.
2 million Americans. And that's the reality.
Thank you.
They also
Thank you,
said
Vice
to us, if
President
we
Pence.
did everything right, Susan, we could still lose more than 200,000 Americans.
Vice
Now,
President
one
Pence.
life lost is too
Thank you.
many, Susan. But the American people, I believe, deserve credit
He's such a
for
fucking
the
actor.
sacrifices that they have made, putting the health of their family and their neighbors first, our doctors, our nurses, our first
Thank you, Vice
responders.
President Pence.
And I'm going to speak up on behalf of what the American people
I'm going to
think.
speak
Vice
up
President-
because I recall, I'm with Kamala, I recall the dead bodies thrown on the side of the road. Remember in New York, they could not bury these people. It was so many dead bodies, they put them in refrigerators, truck refrigerators. And then they had to put them by a bridge in New York because it was so many dead bodies. And that was in your president's administration. They're fucking crazy and actors. Let's see if Kamala has anything else to say before we end this. I just can't deal with Mike too much. Mike is full of shit. He's still talking. All right, so that's
People,
that.
I believe
Oh,
deserve
shut up.
credit.
Okay, so that's that, y'all. I just wanted to we could have, just hear somewhat of what was said. Okay, this is the part that I wanted to hear. This is the last part that I'm hoping that we can hear. And this is on Senator Harris says voters deserve transparency on president's health and taxes. Again, this is information that I think that we deserve to know. I think Kamala is revealing stuff that we should know. Transparency. Here we go.
Trump nor Vice President Biden has released a sort of detailed health information that had become the modern norm until the 2016 election. And in recent days, President Trump's doctors have given misleading answers or refused to answer basic questions about his health. And my question to each of you in turn is this information voters deserve to know? Vice President Pence, would you like to go first?
Well, Susan, thank you. And let me say, on behalf of the President and the First Lady, how moved we've all been by the outpouring of prayers and concern for the President.
I ain't praying for him. Actually, I hope the man learned his lesson. Oh, I cannot deal with him. I can't deal with him, y'all. Trump did not want to wear a mask. Trump is the dude who had coronavirus and he knew it. And that last debate, they said he did not take a test because he was late. No, that motherfucker knew he had coronavirus. He went in there. He could have got Joe Biden sick. Thank God he didn't. And anybody he came in contact with, he did not wear a mask. And he had symptoms that day. They actually said that with the symptoms he has, that's for people that's more advanced. So this motherfucker been around. He's been, I believe, he been in Hawaii, Ohio. He had a fundraiser outside, no mask. That's where all them people got infected. He had a fundraiser inside first, knowing that he had a virus. So that's why I think he's dirty. He's nasty.
Prayers and the concern that have ushered forth for every American impacted by the coronavirus. But the care the President received at Walter Reed Hospital, the White House doctors, was exceptional. And the transparency that they practiced all along the way will continue. The American people have a right to know about the health and well-being of their
Look how he
president,
breathing.
and will continue to
Because
do
he
that.
had it too.
But I'm just extremely grateful and was more than a little moved by the broad and bipartisan support. And Senator, I want to thank you and Joe Biden for your expressions of genuine concern. And I also want to congratulate you, as I did on that phone call, on the historic nature of your nomination.
He's avoiding the answer.
I never expected to be on this stage 4 years ago, so I know the feeling. But the reality is, we've got
So
an
guys,
election.
this is serious. So there's long-term respiratory health problems with coronavirus. That's another reason why I say I don't want it. I don't care. You have all these people that say it's not going to kill you all. No, this shit has long-term side effects. It messes your bodies up and they don't know the extent of everything. And if you can tell, this dude had it. Y'all remember he had it. He was one of the first people during the briefings that had coronavirus. But if you can look at him and listen, he's breathing crazy. He even know better than that. He knows.
For the American people in the midst of this challenging year. And the stakes have never been higher, but I think the choice has never been clearer.
I want to give Senator Harris a chance to respond to the same question I asked, which is, do voters have a right to know more detailed health information about presidential candidates and especially about presidents, especially when they're facing some kind of challenge?
Absolutely, and that's why Joe Biden has been so incredibly transparent, and certainly by contrast, the president has not, both in terms of health records, but also let's look at taxes. We now know, because of great investigative journalism, that Donald Trump paid $750 in taxes. When I first heard about it, I literally said, you mean $750,000? And it was like, no, $750. We now know Donald Trump owes and is in debt for $400 million. And just so everyone is clear, when we say in debt, it means you owe money to somebody.
Get it, girl.
And it'd be really good to know who the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, owes money to, because the American people have a right to know what is influencing the President's decisions. And is he making those decisions on the best interest of the American people, of you, or self-interest? So, Susan, I'm glad you asked about transparency because it has to be across the board. Joe has been incredibly transparent over many, many years. The one thing we all know about Joe, he puts it all out there. He is honest, he is forthright. But Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been about covering up everything.
Thank you, Senator Harris. I want to give you a chance to respond, Vice President.
Well, look, I respect the fact that Joe Biden spent 47 years in public life. I respect your public service as well.
Thank you.
The American people have a president who was a businessman.
The man owes $400. Did you hear the $1 million?
Tens of millions of dollars in taxes.
He owes
Payroll taxes, property taxes. He's created tens of thousands of American jobs. And the president said those public reports are not accurate. And the president's also released literally stacks of financial disclosures the American people can review just as the law allows. But the distinction here is that Joe Biden, 47 years in public service, compared to President Donald Trump, who brought all of that experience 4 years ago.
Thank you, Vice
And
President.
turned this economy around by cutting taxes, rolling back regulation,
Thank you,
unleashing
Vice
American
President.
energy, fighting for free and fair trade. And
I don't
all
know
of
if
that
they
combined
noticed,
if
but
Joe
we're
Biden
not turned
and
around. We're in a
Kamala Harris.
recession. I don't know if they actually noticed. And guys, we wrapping it up. I'm appreciating that y'all came chill with me. I don't know if they noticed, but we in a recession right now. I don't know if they noticed, but did you see those unemployment lines when this thing hit off? I don't know if they noticed, but do you know anybody that has no job? People are really hurting right now. I'm sure everybody that's listening knows at least one person that's either waiting on an unemployment check or putting in their paperwork each week for that check. People are really suffering. And she really goes in on that debate as far as, damn, I wish they would have played it, the economy. He's talking about the economy. She talks about how he messed up relationship with China, in which now we are in a recession with, I think they said former manufacturers, or look, something like that. I really wish I could find it because she goes into it. We're not anywhere above waters in the economy. Thank God I still have my job. She also talked about was how Trump is going to, he allowed rich to have offshore accounts and paid trillions of dollars to major corporate companies. And she said, guess who's going to pay their debt? We are. He is raising our taxes. And she says how Joe Biden is going to open up I believe she said the number 700 million jobs. And that could be, I believe, 700 million jobs or so. And don't quote me on that. For the people. He is going to invest back in the people. So that was a very good show. Now let me read some of y'all comments. Hey, everybody. Tammy says, did you see Mike Pence's eye? Yes. I didn't know what was going on with that damn eye. And yes, he's fucking nasty. This is nasty. For you to know you sick, you nasty. That's like somebody just giving somebody HIV. Just giving it to somebody. How nasty that sounds. That's how nasty this is to me. It's very gross. Yeah, I looked at his eye too. Like, what is wrong with his eyes? Is he like turn into a lizard? Is he mad? Does he have a blood clot? Like, what's going on? But you know what? Blood clot. That's a symptom of coronavirus. That's what they do. They cause blood clots. And he had the coronavirus before. They talked about at the end of this debate, when her husband came up, he had a mask on. When his wife came up, she didn't have a mask on. These people do not learn. They're nasty. These people remind me of people that go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands and that will shake your hand. People that cough in their hand and touch your face, touch these are nasty ass people. Kaylee McEnany, nasty. Damn, G Money said my son's whole class got sick in October. Damn, I'm sorry to hear about that. Is your son okay? And that's what I'm saying. He talking about he rode the economy around it. Are you in a fucking real world or are you in a delusion? we're not in a good position right now in the United States. I don't know if he noticed, but we're not in a good position health-wise. And she talked about how she got hot. She was like, listen, what Trump is doing right now, they in the courts. And we might have watched that. They're in the courts right now, cutting back your health insurance. If you're 26 years and under and you're on your parents' insurance, he's cutting that. He's taking that from you right now. How we did watch that. Taking away coverage for underlining health conditions. And she even named some of them. And like I said in the beginning, if y'all recall, Trump was running his damn mouth in those briefings when asked by reporters. Oh, yes, we're going to cover everything. Everything's covered. Everything's going to be covered. Health insurance going to be covered for people that have coronavirus. All your health is going to be paid for. You don't have to pay for anything. I vaguely remember. I remember him saying that. Derek said, I love that moderator. Yeah, and I like the one that actually moderated for crazy ass Trump and Biden. And the sick and nasty thing is, Trump is sick. Sick. He is a walking disease. He filled with coronavirus balls. And he really want to go debate next week. He is not in the clear. It takes 4 to 6 weeks. He's out here saying he's cured. This man is delusional. His son, Eric Trump, wanted to pose an intervention. They want to do an intervention. They said he's losing his damn mind. I just think the man is stupid. Honestly, I think he's stupid. I don't know what's wrong with that man. Yeah, Trump said drink bleach. This nigga said inject disinfectant. Disinfectant. He got rid of the top CDC person, Dr. Fauci. I saw envy and jealousy because Dr. Fauci is just smart and this dude is a bitter ass. He just disgusts me. He's creepy. He's weird. Who gets in a car to drive, to say hi to supporters? Who is it, like the secret agents, to get in the car with this guy so he can ride him around, so I can drive him around. He can say hi to his people. All that is for photos. This man is sick. And yes, and when she talked about debt, the first thing I thought about, Putin, the Russian president or leader or whoever, Putin. She also talked about how he destroys relationships with our allies and he gains relationships with people like Putin, dictators. And you know, Putin, she also said on the debate, and I'm glad she exposed it, because this is the type of thing you got to expose some things so people can't try slick play you. Putin cheated for the first election, she said, and he plans on cheating again. But maybe he's in debt to Putin. Maybe that's why he's Putin's bitch. Putin had bounties, she said, on our military's head. Bounties, price tags on our people's heads. And yet this man did not even tell us. He didn't tell nobody. He said he's a bitch. I'm sorry for my language, but this guy, he gave me the creeps. Lift one says it's like complaining to old school Southerners about them eating chitlins. It's disgusting. I know, and you know, I just know we got to do something. And if we're going to do something, or what? Just talk. I'm going to do something. I'm going to vote. Go to Joe Biden's website and just see what's going on over there. If you don't know what to do as far as voting, just go to his website, joebiden.com. I would say vote for him. Why would you vote for a liar? And why would you want? I just hope everybody just vote. Just even if you don't think your vote is going to count, do it anyway. Just do it. Tammy, that's what I thought too. He probably just wanted to get Biden sick. I was a little bit worried that what if they tried to scheme and said, let's go get Kamala sick. Kamala wanted that what's it called, that plexiglass or that glass. She requested that, and I don't blame her. I do not blame her. I don't trust them one bit. What's her name? Kaylee. I heard her. I heard her. A little struggle there. Talk to the reporters, and her nose sounded like it was stopped up, right? And this was before she came out positive, or came out and said it came out that she was positive for coronavirus. And I want to just, this is the clip right here. This is this bitch. This is the type of thing that really just, oh my gosh, these people are so nasty. She has a newborn baby. She has a baby. Let me pause it.
Throughout my career.
Okay. She has a baby, right? She got a baby. And she's been going, she got the coronavirus though. Hanging around Trump and them at that thing they went to, that fundraiser they had, where all those people, you had, what's her name? We'll get to her name, but check this out, y'all. This day right here.
Secretary Kayleigh McEnany announced that she, too, has tested positive for COVID-19. That brings the list to at least 10 people infected who attended the Rose Garden event announcing Judge Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. Amber Cagliano has more now on what is being called a super spreader event.
Add White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany.
See that day right there? This day right here, she didn't, this is before she came out, before it was known that she had it. But I watched her do that little talking thing with reporters outside. And I'm like, this girl's nose is stopped up. She probably got it. She got it. She be all up in Trump's face, and she does not wear a mask.
List of President Trump's inner circle stricken with COVID-19. I tested positive for COVID-19 on Monday morning while experiencing no symptoms, McEnany announced today. McEnany's revelation is outraging the White House press corps, who note that McEnany actually removed her mask as she briefed reporters Sunday on the president's condition.
It's outrageous.
This is a sign of how the White House thinks that the rules do not apply to them.
She would never knowingly put anyone in harm's way, and she did not do it then.
The White House press office was deserted today. CBS White House correspondent Ben Tracy tweeted, "I felt safer reporting in North Korea than I currently do reporting at the White House. This is just crazy." I spoke to Tracy today.
What's the mood inside the White House? Is there panic over who could be infected?
There's certainly a lot of confusion here in the White House because there just has not been a lot of information provided, even to people who work here, about who has been infected, about how they should go get tested, or what kind of contact tracing is being done.
9 days ago, McEnany attended the Rose Garden event when President Trump nominated Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court.
Some are wondering whether this was the super spreader event. We know
they did not follow CDC guidelines. This is not.
So yeah, she nasty too. She's nasty because she knew she had it. I don't to act like you shocked. She tested positive. I ain't even claiming that. She tested positive and had no symptoms, but you already know the danger of crowds. You should avoid crowds, period, because you don't know who got it. Obviously, it's asymptomatic for most people. I believe they said the first week you don't have symptoms. Around the second, third week, you start getting like fevers, trouble breathing. They say around the third or I believe the fourth or fifth week that your symptoms seem to clear up, and I might have these weeks off. And then bam, breathing's messed up. Bad. Can't breathe. It hurts. Body sore. They say in men some signs are muscle aches. And if you are a male and you experience that, they advise, they as in doctors, that you get up and walk, because if you lay, you can get blood clots. And that's how a lot of people died, is because they laid there. It hurted them so bad to move. But then when you lay there, the body builds blood clots. This thing is nasty, ill. It just like recreates itself, regenerates. Those little balls, they regenerate, they stick to you. Them little stings, them little receptors, they stick to you. Oof. Jeez. It is so nasty. And then your own body cells start making copies. Your immune system starts making copies like HIV. And trying to attack it. But then you sick. That's where the fever comes from. But for this woman to act like she don't know, these people are aware. I mean, you are the White House. You are the White House. How do you not know? So this it's just crummy to hear I had no symptoms, because you're in a large crowd. You're in a large crowd. What do you expect? Like it's just disgusting. And it makes me sick to my stomach. Derek says Pence tried to compare the swine flu to the coronavirus. He was really tripping in. Yeah. Yeah, and somebody called him out. I just can't think of who called him out for that. They checked his ass. This is not the flu. And he did in the beginning. He was heavy on that. He was heavy on comparing that to the flu. The fact that he has it and still arrogant, it's just shocking. You would think that would humble him. No, these people are not smart. They're not smart. Don't ever feel like because I'm going to be honest, because you black, because that's what some people will have you think you have a low IQ. No, you don't have no low IQ. You smart. These people are stupid. These people, like I said, as in the White House, all those people that did not wear a mask, because you never know. They don't want you to be around groups, because there's a strong possibility that somebody will give it to you if you in a large group. You don't know who have it. You don't know who was around who. It's airborne. They said it's airborne. I don't even want to be around nobody. I've been in my house as much as possible. Trust me, I have family members that say they don't want to wear a mask. And I just can't put myself at risk, because for one, I don't like being sick. Two, this thing attacks your breathing. So if you are a smoker, or you used to smoke, you already got some type of damage to your lungs. You don't want to play around. And this thing has long-term effects. I noticed, and maybe you can go back and look, I noticed that Pence had trouble breathing. So, that's that, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming to chill with me on this late night with Spice. Y'all know y'all my people. And we definitely will be back again. I try to go live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday, Sunday. And I'm just sticking to that commitment right now, because that works for me. And a lot of times it's around the nighttime. For now, I hope y'all have a good night. Please be safe, and please vote for Kamala and Joe Biden. Please just vote. Get this man out the White House. We don't need stupid people in the White House. We don't need stupid leaders, especially when I think he owed Putin. I think he owes Putin money, and I think that's why Putin got him wrapped around his damn leg. Maybe he was supposed to pay Putin, and I could be dead wrong, but he was supposed to pay Putin for cheating for him to win the election. I don't know. Either way, he is his bitch. So please be careful and just vote. Get everybody you know to vote for Joe Biden. And I don't know. I know he's not perfect. He got a pass. But I'm listening to what's going on now. And y'all have a good night. I'm going to bed so I can go to work. Thank you so much. Please like this video for me, please. I'm going to bed. Have a good night.